Hello, my dear friends. I am Devanshi. Today, let's revise the topic heat, that is chapter number 3 of Ncert, class 7th, science. Now, in our day-to-day life, we come across a number of objects. Some of them are hot and some of them are cold. Tea is generally hot and ice is mostly cold, as you all know. Now, how do we decide which object is hotter than the other? We often do it by touching the object. But is our sense of touching reliable? Let us find out. Here is an activity. For this, we have to take three containers or the tubs. Label them as A, B, C. Put cold water in container A, hot water in container B, and some mixed water, that is warm water, in container C. Now dip your left hand in the container A and the right hand in container B. After keeping the hands in the two containers for approximately 2 to 3 minutes, put both the hands in container C. Do both the hands get the same feeling? Actually, we cannot always rely on our sense of touch to decide whether an object is hot or cold. Sometimes it may deceive us. We got to know this from the above activity that I have told you. Then, how do we find that what is the temperature of any object? Well, a reliable measure of the hotness and of coldness is referred to as temperature, and temperature is measured by a device known as thermometer. Thermometers are of different kinds like clinical thermometer, laboratory thermometer, digital thermometer, mercury thermometer, etc. Now, first let's talk about clinical thermometer. The thermometer that measures the body temperature is known as clinical thermometer. A clinical thermometer consists of a long, narrow, uniform glass tube. It has a bulb at one end. This bulb contains mercury. Outside the bulb, a small shining thread of mercury can also be seen. And the most important point, that is the clinical thermometer reads temperature from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Now, and here's one more important point, that the normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. The temperature of a human body normally does not go below 35 degrees Celsius or above 42 degrees Celsius. This is the reason that this thermometer, that is clinical thermometer, has the range 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. So this was about the clinical thermometer. Then let's talk about the second thermometer, that is the laboratory thermometer. Yes. Well, the thermometer which are used to measure other objects, these are basically used in laboratory. By the name only we can recognize. The thermometer which are used to measure other objects' temperature is known as laboratory thermometer. The range of this thermometer, that is laboratory thermometer, is generally from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. There is also a different kind of thermometer, that is maximum minimum thermometer. The maximum minimum thermometer gives the temperature of the previous day reported in weather reports are measured by thermometer, and this is known as maximum minimum thermometer. Now let's talk about what is mercury. Mercury is a toxic substance and is very difficult to dispose of it if a thermometer breaks off. These days, digital thermometers are available which do not use the mercury, and so they are safer to use. Now let's talk about some of the processes of transfer of heat. There are three processes. First is the conduction, second is convection, and the third one is the radiation. Let's start with the first process, that is conduction. The process by heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end of an object is known as conductors, and the materials which allow the heat to pass through them easily are called conductors of heat. And for example, aluminum, iron, copper, etc. Poor conductors of heat are known as insulator. For example, uh, plastic, then wood, etc. The water and air are also the conductors of heat. Then, how does the heat transfer take place in these substances? Let's talk about it. This happens by the process of convection. When the water is heated, the water near the flame gets heated. The hot water rises up and the cold water from the sides comes down. This water also gets hot and then it also rises up. So this process continues and continues till the whole water gets heated. Now, how does the heat travel in the air? The air near the heat source gets hot and rises. The air from the sides comes down and takes its place and gets hot, and then it is moved up, and this process continues and heat travels in the air. Now here are two examples of convection that are sea breeze and land breeze. During the day, the land gets heated faster than the water. The air over the land becomes hotter and then rises up. The cooler air from the sea rushes towards the land to take its place. The warm air from the land moves towards the sea and completes the whole cycle. And the air from the sea, this air from the sea that is coming, is referred to as sea breeze. At night it is exactly the reverse, and so the cool air from the land moves towards the sea, and this is known as, yes, it is known as absolutely land breeze. So these were the two examples, the two most common examples of convections, that is sea breeze and land breeze. Now let's talk about the third and the last topic, that is radiation. From the sun, the heat comes to us by process known as radiation. The transfer of heat by radiation does not require any medium. This is the most important point. It can take place whether a medium is present or not. All bodies radiate heat, as you all know. When this heat falls on some object, a part of it is reflected, and also a part of it is absorbed, and a part may also be transmitted. Now here comes the second last topic, that is kinds of clothes we wear in summer and winter. Now can you tell me that why it is more comfortable to wear white or light colored clothes in summer rather than dark colored clothes in winter? Yes, absolutely. The dark surfaces absorb more heat, and therefore we feel warmer with dark colored clothes in winter. Light colored clothes reflect most of the heat and that falls on it, and therefore we feel comfortable wearing them in the summer. Here comes the last topic for today, that is woolen clothes keep us warm in winter. Why do they keep us warm? Well, you all know that wool is a very poor conductor of heat. There is air trapped in between the wool fibers. This prevents the flow of heat from our body to the cool surrounding, and so we feel warm. Yes. Now suppose you are given two choices, one of using two thin blankets and one of using a very thick blanket. So which one would you choose? Yes, you will choose the first option, that is, we'll choose the two thin blankets, because the air is trapped between them, and so we will feel warmer than only using one thick blanket. So hope you learned something new today in today's video. Thank you.